Hello, welcome to the video. In this lesson, we're going to be looking at section 3.4, where we're going to be graphing linear equations in standard form. So here is the general equation for a linear equation for standard form. It's ax plus by equals c. So what you have to look at is what is on each side of our equal sign in the equation. So this portion right here, the ax plus by, those are two terms that are our variable terms. All right. And c has no variable term. It has no x. It has no y. These are our non-variable terms or our constant values. So essentially what we're going to do when you want to place an equation into standard form, you got to get all your variables on one side and all your non-variables on the other side. And that is what we're going to do in order to get them into standard form. So one of the first things that we're going to look at is, especially in standard form, is being able to identify horizontal and vertical lines. Horizontal and vertical lines are, again, they're lines or linear equations, but what we have to take into account is there is only going to be one variable in the equation. So, for instance, let's say like they have y equals b here on the screen, but let us say if it was like y is equal to 3. We only have one variable in this equation. In this case, it's y. So when we have only y in the equation, they're asking you to graph it, we are dealing with a horizontal line, and it's going to go through 0, comma 3 in this particular instance. So that is where we could say y equals 3, and that's where my line is going to go. Same idea for vertical lines. Vertical lines are going to have one variable, and that is going to be x. So let's just say that x equaled 3 in this case. So that means that this would now be 3 comma 0, and this is where my vertical line is going to be at x equals 3. So when you just simply have y equaling to a constant value, horizontal line, anytime you just have x is equal to a constant value, it's a vertical line. So here they're asking us to graph two equations. The first one is y is equal to 4, all right? Since we have just simply one variable and the constant is a positive 4, we know that this is a horizontal line. Since we know that's a horizontal line, I'm going to go up to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's right here, and that is where my horizontal line is going to be located. So this is y is equal to 4. If I want to look at this one here, x is equal to -2. Since it's x, I know that it's going to be a vertical line, and then I go to where x is -2, -1, -2, it's right here. My vertical line is located right there. All right, so this is what they want us to do when they are asking us to graph linear equations in standard form. They want us to utilize the two intercepts that your graph is going to um, cross. So when it is not a horizontal line or vertical line, eventually it's going to cross the y-axis and it's going to cross the x-axis. So here is what you're going to do. So in order for us to obtain or find the x-axis, all right, or not x-axis, the x-intercept, it is going to cross right here. And if you notice, y is at 0. So what you're going to do in the equation that you obtain or you're looking for, you are going to set y equal to 0, and then you are going to solve. Once you've figured out what x is equal to, that is what is going to be your x-intercept. Same thing goes for the y-intercept. The y-intercept is going to be located here, and if you notice, x is at 0. So just like what you did with the x-intercept, for the y-intercept, you are now going to set x equal to 0, and then you're going to solve. You'll get y equals something, and then that will be your y-intercept. So here they says use the intercepts to graph the equation. So I got 3x plus 4y is equal to 12. All right, so it is already in standard form. It's in that ax plus by equals c form. A being 3, b being 4, c being 12. So they want us to use the intercepts to graph this. So the first thing that we are going to do is we are going to find the x-intercept. So in order to find the x-intercept, we have to set y equal to 0. So utilizing this equation, I'm going to say 3x plus 4 times it by 0 is now equal to 12. All right, so that is how we get y equal to 0. Do we just set it? So now 4 times 0 is 0, so now I have 3x is equal to 12. All right, dividing 3 to both sides, x will be equal to 4. All right, so 4 is my x-intercept. So the location of this is going to be 4, comma, 0. All right, let's get a graph. All right, so if we get this graph out here, 4 comma 0 located right there. 1, 2. All right, so now I want to find the y-intercept, which means we got to set x equal to 0. So now again, using this equation, 3 now is going to be times it by 0 because we just set x to 0, plus 4y is equal to 12. So 3 times 0 is 0, so now I just got 4y. 4y is equal to 12. Divide 4 to both sides. Y will now be equal to 3. So my coordinate, or my y-intercept, is going to be 0, comma, 3. Go up there and plot the point, which is right there. All right, so now I have 2 points on my graph, and by rule, all you need is 2 points in order to make a line. So wherever they cross is going to be our line, and that is what it looks like to graph 3x plus 4y is equal to 12. Okay, let's take a look at number 3. So number 3, they want us to use the x-intercept, the intercepts to graph the linear equation. Label the points correspond with the intercept. So again, it is in standard form for number 3. Let's find the x-intercept. So what we can do is take 2x minus 0 is equal to 4. So now I just have 2x is equal to 4. Divide that by 2. X is equal to 2. So my x-intercept is 2. So when I go over here and plot the point, 2 comma 0 is my value for the x-intercept. So now I go over here and say, all right, what do we got next? We got to find the y-intercept. So now this is just going to be 0 minus y is equal to 4. So now I have negative y is equal to 4, but I want that to be positive, so I'm either going to multiply or divide, whatever you choose. So y will be equal to negative 4. So my coordinate is going to be 0, comma, negative 4. I got my 2 points. I have all the information I need to make my line, and I just got to make sure that it crosses both the y and x-intercept correctly, and so that is my equation of 2x minus y is equal to 4. All right, so finally here it says you are planning an awards banquet for your school. You need to rent tables to seat 180 people. Tables come in 2 sizes. Small tables seat 6 people, and large tables seat 10 people. The equation is 6x plus 10y is equal to 180 degrees. Model this situation where x is a number of small tables and y is a number of large tables. So in this particular example, they want us to graph the equation and then interpret the intercepts. So we'll go down here. So here's my graph, and they had it as 6x plus 10y is equal to 80. So 6x plus 10y is equal to 180. So let's find the x-intercept. So I'm just setting y equal to 0 in this case. So essentially it's 6x is equal to 180. I divide 6 to both sides. I get x is equal to 30. When I got my y-intercept, I have 10y is equal to 180 because I set x to 0. And 180 divided by 10, y is equal to 18. All right, so on the graph, what we need to do, since the way the graph is how we have it, I'm going to put everything in terms of 5 units. So it fits. So for the first one, so it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So this is 30 comma 0. And then 18 is going to be 5, 10, 15, 20. So it's not quite 20. So it's right about there. So here is my graph. Let's see if I can. So essentially it's going to look like this, and then you extend it from there. So what they ask of you is they're asking you to find 4 possible solutions in the content of this problem. So essentially you can have like 1, 2, and then 3 and 4. So like you could, the 2 easiest ones would say like, oh, we used 30 6-seat people tables and 0 10 people, and then you use 18 10 people tables and 0 6, and then you could go from here, like say like this one appears to be at, looks like 5 comma 15, and this one looks really close to like 5 10 15, so it looks like it's 15 comma, looks like 10. I'm not, the only way that you can verify if those work is if you take the if you take these values and plug it in, which I've determined that the 15 comma 10 actually doesn't work, so you have to um, utilize some other form. So it's essentially you can make a table on it, but that is one of the ways that you can utilize, try to determine the possible solutions to this problem. And that is being able to graph linear equations using standard form. Hope this helps. Till next time.